As a new day dawns on Oak Island, for brothers Rick and Marty Lagina and the members of their team, the hope that they may be on the verge of solving a 228-year-old treasure mystery has never been higher. Oh, right now, we're about 23 feet. We're going to be marking a little bit more, blowing that in. And then we're going to be installing another 2 sets, Roger answers. Although a number of investigations are currently being conducted all across the island to search for critical clues and valuables, their most promising operation is underway in the Money Pit area with Dumas Contracting Limited, a mining company that is reconstructing the so-called garden shaft. The material's still just really mucky right now, Roger comments.
Yeah.
So it's you can tell that it's backfilled clay.
Yeah.
But you're right. They were careful as to what they dumped in there, Rick acknowledges. Based on numerous recent discoveries this year, the team has good reason to believe that this 80-foot deep, decayed wooden structure may be connected to the original money pit. Wood samples from the shaft have not only been dated to 1735, but water testing within it has also revealed high trace evidence of gold. In addition, it is also located in close proximity to a potential void or chamber that the team drilled into earlier this year at a depth of just 55 feet. Marty Lagina shares his excitement. There are some pretty concrete signs that say this might be the original money pit, or it could be right next to it. It could have been the original attempt, one of the original attempts. I really would like to see what's at the bottom of that shaft. So the hope is that once we get down 50-60 feet, we'll be able to drill horizontally, vertically.
Yeah.
Then hopefully, we do find the tunnel from this shaft, at least in some direction. He continues, some of our better water sample tests have been from here, that had the gold and the silver.
Yeah.
We would love to find original work. So there's all kinds of hopes here. We just have to learn as much as we can about this location. Having already rebuilt the first 2 sets or 8-foot sections of the garden shaft, in the coming weeks, Dumas will complete a new vertical structure down to a total depth of approximately 80 feet. During the process, they also have the ability to probe outside the shaft and even build lateral tunnels in order to let members of the team search for evidence of treasure. Here we go, a construction worker says as they begin the task. Watch out, another team member warns. As the team from Dumas continues excavating and reconstructing the garden shaft, members of the team will be able to monitor the operation using the Inuktitut Spectrum 120 high-definition camera. We're fortunate enough to be able to put a camera down here with Roger's assistance, Rick remarks. So, it's a great tool for us to be able to see what's going on down there. It's amazing. The device, which features a lens that can pan 360 degrees, is not only designed to operate in low-light conditions but is also equipped with a number of visual enhancement capabilities, such as a high-powered zoom function. Scott Barlow adds, it really gives you an idea how small of an area it is, seeing those 2 guys down there. It is, yeah, Rick agrees. Do I believe that there's treasure at the bottom of the garden shaft? I'll be honest, I'm hopeful. Chuckles. But I just want to get underground in the money pit. Let's get underground and exploit the opportunities that the shaft represents. I want to go down there, soon. It's an exciting day. In the money pit area, Rick Lagina, along with Oak Island Operations Manager Scott Barlow, are about to experience a moment that Rick has dreamed of since he was just a boy and first read about the Oak Island mystery. We have all kinds of emotions running through us, Bottom line is we're radically changing the search engine. And now we're going to go looking for what's underground by being underground. And that's pretty cool. I think so, Scott agrees. But it's kind of bittersweet. Like I was telling him just before we walked in, this will be our only first time underground in the money pit. So we better enjoy it. Roger adds, oh yeah, for sure. It's going to be a moment that we're going to remember the rest of our lives. Yeah, absolutely, Rick agrees. We'll get you suited up. Also, I've got a couple of coveralls for you guys here, Roger instructs, handing over the gear. With the reconstruction of the garden shaft now at 44 feet, Rick is about to have his first opportunity ever to personally go underground in the money pit area. After completing the required safety training, the moment finally arrives. Okay, guys, we're going to head down there, Roger announces. And we'll go see what we can see. Rick's voice is filled with excitement. For the first time, we're going to go underground in the money pit. That in and of itself is pretty cool. But we're here to solve the mystery. Go ahead, Roger, Rick adds. The The machinery hums as they begin their descent. "Let me know if you have any questions on the way down, Rick," Roger calls out as they move further underground. It's intensely emotional to be underground in the money pit, where so many people who have come before us had that same experience, Rick reflects. And I think life is all about shared experience, because I do believe this is a wonderful story. And we know the people that have come before us, their legacy now is being carried by us. He pauses, gazing around. "I believed in Oak Island since I was a little boy. As a little boy, I dreamt of treasure and hidden wealth and booby traps and underground tunnels." The sense of awe is palpable as they reach their goal. "Wow. Beautiful," Rick whispers. Scott Barlow is equally impressed. "This is astounding." Roger Fortin comments, "Yeah, it is, eh?" "It's pretty amazing," Scott adds. "Yeah," Rick agrees. "You look at the shaft, and you think, my goodness. People long ago, they didn't have cranes. It's a testament to their will, to their desire, to their belief that where there's a will, there's a way. And there was certainly a will to their enterprise, not only the searchers but the original depositors as well." "Roger, now that we're down near 50 feet here, Rick starts. "Yeah," Roger responds. "There's a lot of potential for other works to be in the area, offset chambers and the tunnel at the 95-foot mark," Rick continues. "Oh, for sure. There may be original work beneath this." "You're right. And that's one of the reasons why we pound on that timber all the time, to see if there's any void behind us," Roger explains. "But yeah, we're expecting to get some answers as to what happened here." "Why?" Rick wonders aloud. "Boy, this is interesting. And it's quite phenomenal." "It is." "It is," Roger agrees. "It's been an amazing experience," Rick admits. "You stand here and you look up." "I can't explain how I feel right now," Scott says. "Thank you," Rick responds. "This has been very unique, right?" Roger asks. "Yep. Forever grateful for this opportunity," Rick says. "We really, really appreciate it," Rick adds. "Glad you enjoyed it," Roger replies. "Look at that," Rick says, eyes wide in wonder. At the northern point of the swamp on property belonging to the family of Fred Nolan, Rick Lagina has just found a large wooden stake. "Does it look old to you?" he asks. "It's tough to tell, isn't it?" Roger responds. "It's hacked. It looks like it's been hacked. It's axe-cut. There's no question about that." "Yeah, it's not sawed," Rick observes. "A wooden stake found in the swamp?" In 1969, Oak Island landowner and treasure hunter Fred Nolan set out to drain the swamp after becoming convinced that the answers to the Oak Island mystery were located within it. During his investigation, Fred was astonished to discover several uniform lines of wooden stakes, which were carbon dated to the 1500s. A land surveyor by trade, it was Fred's professional assessment that these stakes were evidence of centuries-old survey markers used to plot out the boundaries in a massive construction project. This led Fred to the astonishing conclusion that Oak Island was once actually two islands artificially joined together by means of the triangle-shaped swamp. Fred and Tom both describe the stake with 4 or 5 cuts, and when Gary Drayton examines it, he says, "Yeah, 5. That's exactly what they described." Fred had even shown Gary one of these stakes, and its preservation matches the ones found in the swamp. "I think I found one of the survey stakes," Marty calls out. "Why don't you come over and take a look?" Rick replies, excited. "Yeah, well, that's what he was looking for," Alex says, recognizing the significance of the find. "Well, it's definitely been in place a while, because you can tell if you look at preservation here and how much it's decayed up there. So you get a kind of sense of time with the top being so much." Alex trails off. Marty continues, "Oh yeah, this looks virgin." "Right, but this looks old," Alex agrees. "It's pretty cool," Marty adds. "Okay, so I don't get it," Marty says, addressing Rick. "Why aren't you over the moon about this survey stake? Why aren't you doing a stake dance?" He laughs. "Because I don't do stake dances," Rick replies, with a smile. "I'm very interested in it. To me they look..." "Exactly right. Exactly right," Marty agrees. "I was impressed, honestly, because to me, it looks identical to what he's described. And my skepticism level diminishes," Marty admits. For Rick, Marty, and the team, Finding new evidence that the mysterious triangle-shaped swamp is man-made could soon lead to another major breakthrough. It also means that the access they now have to Fred Nolan's property could allow them to gather a host of even more important clues. As another day begins on Oak Island, Rick Lagina returns to the swamp with geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner to show him the mysterious rock feature unearthed one day ago. "So what we're doing here is trying to determine the boundaries of the paved area," Rick explains. "We have a full crew of witnesses here. We were digging the shaft because Fred was never forthcoming in terms of what his aspirations were here. So the idea was just to dig below that to see what might be there, but then we noticed a rock feature. Well, and yesterday you saw a lot of water, but then it exposed itself to a looked like deeper paved area," Ian remarks. "Like multiple rocks?" Billy asks. "Yeah, a stacking of rocks," Ian confirms. "Yeah, we'd really like to see this," Rick says. "Bill, why don't you start, and we'll take a look." We've not revealed the paved area in its entirety, but at this point, we're all surprised. Think about it, 225 years here in the swamp, the most enigmatic place on the entire island. This structure was not known until just lately, and yet it's highly suggestive of the fact that it holds clues or information, Rick reflects. As they uncover more of the area, the puzzle only deepens. "This would be a natural aquifer," Ian remarks. "It's rock on rock. This would be uncontrollable," Rick observes, the pieces of the mystery starting to come together. As they continue their work, it's clear the swamp and its features hold the key to a greater understanding of Oak Island's secrets. "Right," Rick says, "it's getting to be a real conundrum." Later, in the war room, Rick updates the team on his recent trip. "Big brother, how'd your trip to New York go?" Marty asks. "I was stunned," Rick replies. 1 week ago, Rick received the shocking news that his close friend, researcher, and author Zena Halpern had passed away. Rick also learned that Zena had bequeathed to him the results of her life's work, including a vast trove of books and documents, which seemed to connect the Oak Island mystery to activities involving the Knights Templar as far back as the 12th century. "I'm just so thrilled to know that her life's work isn't just going to stop right now. I guarantee you it's not going to stop. She wouldn't allow it to stop, and we won't either," Rick says, determined to continue Zena's research. The amount of material that Zena has wrought, the width and breadth of the lady's accomplishments and research, it was stunning, Rick admits. "Is it tied to Oak Island?" Devin asks. "I think we all have just a very rudimentary understanding of the work as it relates to Oak Island. The information is somewhat disjointed," Rick acknowledges. They discuss the importance of the documents, including a copy of the Cremona document, a collection of maps and journal passages reportedly authored by the 12th century Templar knight Ralph de Soudely. It describes not only de Soudely's journey to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, but also a Templar voyage to the New World in the year 1178. Rick concludes, "We've now come into possession of some remarkable research. A lifetime's worth of research." He proposes, "We establish a research center, a place where we can gather the information regarding our work, our pursuit of answers for the Oak Island mystery, and commit ourselves to that endeavor. I want to carry her work forward." Marty agrees. "It sounds to me like the research center idea is timely because, it's going to take some real digging to mess with this. We'll follow up on this." "Good job, you guys," Rick concludes, setting the team on their next step of the journey.